Hi ladies, and welcome back to my channel today. Listen you guys, today I want to talk about nagging and begging for time for your mate, your husband, whoever to spend time with you. Some of you guys have just totally been depleted. You don't get no time. He's busy. He does everything for everybody else, and you're left feeling just, there's a void there, and you're feeling neglected. You're like, what do I do? How do I get him to pay me some attention? I'm not, when he gets home, he's busy. And not so much that he's off doing somebody else or wants somebody else. He's there. You're just not getting his time and attention. I remember, you guys, I've been with my husband for about 11 years now. Now, we haven't been married that long, but I've been with him that long. And I remember a time where my husband was into the Madden crave. He was a Madden fanatic. He'd come home from work, and his way of Wusan was getting on the game. He would, hey babe, whatever, eat dinner, get on the game. And it would piss me completely off. When you talk about mad, I would just be looking at him like, didn't you know I've been with these kids all day long? Because he took care of the bills. He allowed me to be home because I had so many children, and my children were involved in so many activities because they had to be. It was a requirement in our homes that they're involved. But not only they're involved, there is chores, and I have an autistic son. I'm at the schools. If it wasn't one thing, was up, and I work as needed. I worked as needed. Sometimes I'll take a job to do Christmas. Sometimes I'll take a job so we can do other things. But he is the main provider. So with that being said, I'm home a lot. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm here. I want some of your time. And so he would come home and get in the game. I could walk past him butt naked, and he just paid no attention. I'm telling y'all, it was just crazy. And so I was like, man, this is really getting to me, and it started affecting our relationship. And it seemed like the more I asked, the further he would pull away. And so I talked to this lady about it, and I'm like, I'm tired. It's like, if he can't, he's really good to me and the kids, because these are his stepchildren. These are not his biological children. My children's father is a great father, and amazing father, and he did his part. But in my house, my husband, he took care of all the bills. And so, I was like, so he's a good financial provider, but he's emotionally detached from me. And she was like, stop begging him, and stop nagging him. I was like, well, how am I supposed to even, she said, he heard you the first time, sweetie. He heard you the moment you asked him. You need to find out, what is it that you're not doing that he is kind of what you call making you pay for it and not giving you time. I was like, I do everything. And so, because I do this and I do that, that's fine. But the things you think you're doing may not be what he's requiring for you, and what he needs from you. You're just busy being a mother. And I'm like, okay, so, I'm going like, I know this man just going to be like, I love the game, and you going. And so one day I waited, and he had came home from work, and he sat down, and he was playing Madden. And instead, first of all, she told me, before I asked him, she told me to take a few days and focus on me. She was like, stop begging him. Give him a few days. If you're not begging him, I need you stop begging him for his time. That will get his attention. Because now you talking is cackling. He's not hearing anything. So get quiet. So I got quiet. Stop begging him for his time. And then one day I told him, I said, babe, after dinner, before you get on the game, didn't complain about the game. I said, before you get on the game, I want to do your feet. Because I know you're tired and you've been working all day, and I just want to do your feet real quick before I do something else. Right? And so, and back then I was writing a play for my church. So I was writing a play for my church. And, I'm not trying to be funny. How I decided to write the play was because I had to not ask for his time. So I had to say, you know what? Christmas is coming, and I want to write a play for the church. So anyway, I asked him, I said, I want to do your feet. And so when I was doing his feet, I said, how can I make our relationship better? And he was like, what now? What is it now that you need? I said, nothing. I was like, I really love you, and I do appreciate you being here and working and allowing me to be home with my children. As much as he allowed me to do that, I forgot to tell him thank you. And so he looked at me and he was like, you appreciate me? Well, wow. Now, mind you, I cooked for this man. I make sure the house is. I mean, I was doing everything I'm supposed to do. Like, you should know I appreciate you. No, no. When I said that, I said, I appreciate you. And I was like, and the reason I beg for time sometimes is because I love being around you, and you really make me happy. And you're making my life easier by allowing me to come home and deal with the children. And that's why I want to spend time with you. And I was like, and I understand that you want to come home and wind down and play Madden. I said, but I didn't want it to drive you away from me. And so he didn't answer me right then. But it was like maybe a week later. I know it's crazy. Maybe a week or two later. I don't remember, but it wasn't right away. He was like, babe, he came home from work one day, and he was like, tomorrow I'm going to take you out. Tomorrow I'm going to take you out. And then we decided from that day to this day, when he comes home from work, he would give me 30 minutes to an hour because I'm that one that want to tell him everything. And then this happened, and that happened, and he would come in from the house. He'd sit down, and he still does this to this day, you guys. He never changed it. He sit down, and he listens to me. I don't know how much he's listening, but he's faking like he's listening. Huh? Really? Oh, really? They did that? Blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, there's times I'd be like, Daddy, remember when I told you the other day? You don't know what I'm talking about. But he gave me that. And then we made a pact that at least once a month that we would spend some time outside of the house. And then once or twice a week, if there's time, at least once a week, we would do some, watching a movie or something. And because I told him I appreciated him, because I let him know that, because yes, in my life, I believe that men are supposed to be responsible and they step up. But I let him know that him coming and choosing me to do that with, and choosing me and allowing me to come home and be with my children, that I totally appreciated him, did wonders. It did wonders. Today, I still have to do, so I ain't gonna lie. I still have to, baby, can we do? He'll put it off. I stop asking, and he'll show up every time. Some of y'all women need to stop nagging and stop begging. Pull back. Get out of, they hurt you. Some of y'all's men, I'm going to tell y'all something. These men get out here and they face a cruel, mean world. Period. I don't care what color they are. And if they just so happen to be, of the African American race, they go through something a little bit harder. But just as a man, period, I don't care what race they are, as a man who owns so much responsibility, they think different than us. And a lot of time we just want this, and they're thinking, how am I going to make sure this house is okay? They take on everything we ask. My husband said, everything you say to me gets to me. If you need a pair of shoes, I have to work harder. If you need this, and we had a house full of children, you know what I'm saying? And listen, because we had so many children, there were times where my children wanted something more than I could give them, and even their father, because we had a lot of children, and he would work harder. He would work harder so they can have, because they were really some great children. And he would do things, and he's like, I hear everything. He was like, and he worked 2 jobs. And he was like, I worked them 2 jobs so that we wouldn't have to worry about nothing. That's why you don't need for anything. And I was like, wow. And so I had to hear his point of view. So some of you ladies out there that's nagging and begging, it don't work. And you're only drawing a wedge between you and your mate, your husband. Really find the time. So if you've been begging and nagging, pull away. Stop, don't pull away, but stop nagging, stop begging, relax. Find out what you can do. Now, if you've been this woman and you give everything and you've allowed this person just to kind of never have to give back to you, then you need to rethink your relationship. But I'm talking about the women who your husbands is doing their part. They're great fathers. They're great providers. Men are not nurturers, so stop looking for that. They're not that. I don't look for my husband to nurture me. I just not that person. But he's a wonderful provider, and he's a listener, and he supports me in everything I do. And we've had issues. God knows that we have. But I've learned to communicate with him and overcome. And oh, one more thing I want to say, and I'm going to talk about this in another video. I always say that and forget the video, but I'm going to say we're going to do this in another video. Stop bringing up old mess, trying to use that over their head to get them to do what you want to do. You only push them further away. They know what they did. And if you stayed with them, you forgave them. If you stayed with them, you got to forgive it and let it go. And stop trying to use it to get what you want. It only works so much and then they quit. You're making yourself miserable. You're making your family miserable. You're making him miserable too. Stop it. Stop. So that you can grow. So that y'all can be happy. And so I just wanted to share that with you today. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, support it by pressing the subscribe button and hit the bell so when I do post a new video that you'll get notification of it. I want to thank you guys for watching today. You have a great day.